My name is Stacey Mulligan, and I am a member of the Family Court Fraud Warrior Project. My case is lodged in the Court of Common Pleas, Lebanon County, Pennsylvania. My custody case number is 2010-20828. Ideally, I want Judge Bradford Charles removed from the bench because I consider him to be a clear and present danger. He has knowingly put my children in the path of harm. My custody case began back in 2011 when my daughter was barely 2 and my son was 3 months old and nursing. Lebanon County courts accepted false claims by opposing party, removed me almost fully from my tiny children, and ordered that I was to perform custody visits in the house and on the property of my soon-to-be ex-husband. This told me they had no fear for my well-being or anything else. This was a ruse, and they were bent on destroying me. I watched my son learn to crawl on a blanket on a stranger's lawn across the street from my ex-husband. What kind of a despicable court writes these kinds of orders? In January 2019, Judge Charles stripped me of all legal and most physical custody and declared my case closed for litigation. In short, I was wrongfully punished because my brave son was speaking up about abuse. Even my final attorney described the court order as, quote, punitive. Through nearly a decade of endless hearings, I had established myself as a highly capable, loving, and protective parent. The judge knew this, and yet chose to protect reputations. He simply ignored or twisted piles of evidence. My parents gave up their entire life savings to fund this decade-long parade of guardian ad litems, custody evaluators, and protracted hearings. They did it for love of their grandchildren. Now, my 89-year-old father with liver cancer takes care of my mother with end-stage Alzheimer's because the courts robbed him of his entire retirement fund. The latest custody order/opinion from January 2019 does not address the most important of details, such as what weekends we have custody. Yet, the opinions and orders contain personal attacks, statements of I believe and I think, as well as acts of cruelty, such as court ordering me to, quote, pack up all my daughter's clothing and personal belongings and make the packages available to father for retrieval. My daughter still had visitation rights with me, so I understood this to be nothing more than a sadistic cut. Other facts. Judge Charles falsely accused me on open record and in his opinions of making a terroristic threat, a crime that I did not commit, to a major medical center. Judge Charles refused to allow a change of venue to Dauphin County, where my children and I had lived for almost 2 years. Judge Charles served as partner in Buskin Davis, the same firm where my ex-husband hired his attorney, Scott Grenoble. Judge Charles refused to recuse himself from our case, given this obvious conflict of interest. I requested that I be allowed to represent myself in the final series of hearings from 2018. Judge Charles responded by ordering me to retain legal counsel, knowing that months of preparation and days of hearings were coming. Through this action, he put the nail in my parents' and my own financial coffin. This fact needs to be highlighted above all others. Judge Charles blocked me from seeking help and protection for my children. Even though I never made a call to CPS, he blocked me from contacting them. Judge Charles writes in his court order from January 2019, "At no time shall mother encourage, suggest, or direct the children to make any report to teachers, school officials, therapists, doctors, caseworkers, or any other adult in authority. I am a victim of family court in Lebanon County and a member of Dave Weigel's Family Court Fraud Warrior Project, and I demand a full investigation. I want the entire system of Lebanon County investigated because this court system has generations of tentacles. I can guarantee I am not the only one harmed in this jurisdiction.